Lunacy, wooden boat Lunacy. I've got WBL as my rego, so you could be lunacy, lunatic, or lover for L. Anyway, Billy Holmes is a Kiwi that came across to Australia and started building bridges in Victoria, and then ended up in Lavender Bay building boats, many boats, different yachts, tugs, ferries and pleasure boats, speedboats. And so it was late, he died a couple of years before it was built, but his sons Reginald and I think William again built it, and we're not exactly sure, but Bet's, my wife, been to the archives in Maritime Museum in Sydney a couple of times, going through all the microfiche trying to find it. It's probable that she was never registered. We'll never know her original name. This is Lavender Bay, where she was built. These are all boat yards, they're all gone. So this, if you get a magnifying glass out, there's an A-frame there, and this is the A-frame looking back. This vessel in here could well be Folly III. See that? So this is a little sister, Kathleen, by the same architect. So you can see that had the beams going right across with a light box. And I'm personally convinced that Folly III had the same layout, and someone's cut these beams and put a trunk cabin in. The length of the vessel is 33 foot, the beam is 9 foot, the raft is 3 foot. Circa late 20s was when she was built, opposite Luna Park in Lavender Bay. And we know a history from Queensland. It's been through a few hands up here. We've traced back 4 or 5 and physically met them up here. Up at Mooloolaba and Noosa was up here. Came to the Gold Coast originally, but getting back further, I've got a few bits and pieces, but it's really hard to go right back. It'd be nice if the boat could talk, it'd tell you lots of stories. But so yeah, I think my wife's on board, but because of the heritage of the vessel. She loves heritage, you know, and it just oozes that, doesn't it? So that's half of the charm. Like you see an old car done up, you know, and they think, oh wow, look at that. And boats is that much more special. My son, he found it. He found it on the internet 2 years ago now. Dad, I found an old wooden boat to mess around in. Look at this. Yeah, fuck off. Everyone knows it's a hole in the water when you throw money. So 6 months later, we hired a tinny at Bobbin Head in Cowan Creek, which is the best waterways in Australia, probably one of the best in the world. And I looked at the vet and I said, here we are, living on these waterways, we don't have a vessel to enjoy it, who are we kidding? So the next day I rang the guy up and said, they wanted 65. I said, how's 50 sound? He said, it's funny you say that, your son rang up yesterday and offered the same amount. So how he was going to pay for it, I'm buggered if I know, but we offered exactly the same figure a day apart after 6 months of not communicating about it all. So that was the cheap part, but then that was like the deposit to purchase. Yeah, crazy. A lot of people have passed buck with repairs on it, so we had to do the full number, much more than anyone expected. You know, none of us had any concept of what was involved, hours and fiscally. If you did, no way in the world would you embark on the process. No way in the world. So it's complete lunacy. There's no other word for it. But anyway, I had no regrets whatsoever. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. So it's lunacy, but it's been the most stimulating year of my life without a doubt. It's not about speed as much as ability to get across the bar and get in. But she'll do 10 plus on her rear. And that's way over the theoretical waterline length. So, you know, we've put the massive prop on it. Deep reduction 2.8 is the gearbox, I think. And 75 horse. It's one thing to have a big engine. You've got to bite it into the water. So to swing a big 21-inch prop under there was a big call. I've put all the, you know, nice autopilot, bow thruster, radar, desal. Would be heresy to purists. Favourite things about the boat? That's a real tricky one. I've been asking a lot of people why, like there's aluminium boats and fiberglass, plastic boats, but why are wooden boats special? Can you answer that? There's some energy goes into the timber that gives them soul beyond any other boat. So, you know, I've always knew that before I even purchased it. So I had a plastic boat before with beautiful fit out. It was awesome, but it was still a plastic boat, a bit of Tupperware I used to call it. So now I've got a real wooden boat. Favourite things about it. I haven't used it enough to be able to, but it's heritage. I think people will look at this from the dock with tears in their eyes and jewels on the dock. It just blows me away. Favourite thing? I don't know. That'll do.